Okay. And then this. And then... Let me see. One moment. Where's the music? Where's the epic music? Something's wrong. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to fix that in a sec. After all, the sound effects of clicking on things are still there. That's as important as the epic music. Oh, there it is. I hear it now. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, last time... You've read the thumbnail and description. And most of you were here last time. Okay, so... I did, however, spend a whole bunch of time reclaiming the moves that we lost to that last crash, and going through every single city by hand. The war unrest is completely out of hand. Like, it's absurdly high right now. If it gets any bigger, it is going to be crushing, and I will just have to do the 6 turns of revolution to bring it down. But I really don't want to, because there'll be another 6 turns coming back, and that's a lot to give up. So I really don't want to do that. Anyway, see, I got my army here. Shaka had some junk that I took out. I decided, I'm not sure exactly where I put them. Oh, this is it. Yeah, I decided to move the tanks up from down here where I'd been massing them. I'm still massing forces down here. But, my 3-pronged attack has become a 1-pronged attack. Alright. So we're going to begin with... Let's just wipe this off the map. Let's see. Oh, actually, this tank is really busted up. Let's use the triple attack tank. Since I no longer have my ultimate shock troops and stuff, I guess this is my new, I guess this is what I do now. So. The light tanks are surprisingly effective. Half track. These things are gonna have a hard time getting into fights. That costs him a few more of his precious planes. He did not believe in planting great people. Pity. Okay, let's see. Now we have this interesting little stack over here. I think we should knock out Persia. I think we should just knock this out. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll just gift it to Hungary or something. Probably what I should do with it. And then what we're gonna do is, let me see. This should be fairly easy. To defend up here. Whatever is this doing here? How odd. You're behind me. Mountain Ranger to Mountain Ranger. Next goal is gonna be to take out that. Okay. Half tracks. There should be a whole bunch of those coming. As well as a whole lot more tanks coming this way. Eventually, this is going to try to push. It'll need artillery, of course, as well. That was a bit of a surprise. Mountain infantry aren't really supposed to defend cities. They're not built for it. Continuing to come in every direction. Those guys over there. These guys seem to have an unlimitless. They seem to have limitless troops to throw at me from seemingly every direction at all times.
Air power may either end war or end civilization.
Alright, we can make airports. And we can make stronger things. We can have tactical bombers now. Maybe I won't need those artillery, that's right. Ground support. Air superiority. Okay. Alright. Stronger tanks. Desperately needed health. Or curb the unhappiness a little. I'm not even 100% sure whether or not I control Notre Dame. I could really use those security bureaus and propaganda towers. If I go towards Motherland Calls, that could be extreme. But I've got Blitzkrieg, and I could use the stronger tanks. Alright. This is my capital. If any place needs the airport, it's you. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Alright, we're gonna clean that up. Hold on. First. I see. I understand. Okay. Yeah, everything is doing something already. Fair enough. This will be where we begin building our bombers. Okay. we'll begin rolling them out of here. Even though they make the best tanks. I want more tanks from there. Oh, let's see. Two guys to get up to there to defend that city. Half track, 2 stars. You. Do you want to be better at running away? No, you want a multi-attack. You'll be my second triple attack tank. It's the best I can do for now, unfortunately. I've got more stuff on the way. Alright. This will increase their attack power quite a bit. It will majorly increase their range and give them 10% more interception chance. Nice. I'll go with it. Alright. So we haven't managed to build more interceptors yet, but the ones we've got, significantly more potent now. Ah. Well, at least you'll have a little artillery in this. And high temperature superconductivity. I don't know if there is any more science to be had after all of this. I think high temperature superconductivity could lead to some kind of weapon, but nope. Just better spaceships. The list is getting shorter as civs are bumped off one after another. Ho, ho, ho. You think science is progress? No. The destruction of my enemies is progress. Tactical bomber, please. 15% chance to evade, is it? I wonder how exactly that works. So do you take the chance to intercept and then subtract the evasion chance? Or is it just separate rolls? Like 50% chance to intercept, and then this gets a 15% chance to dodge it. That should be enough of those. We might make regular bombers after that. Airports! the best tanks, though. Oh, hey, gold. We're discovering all kinds of resources. It's awesome. Okay. Our interceptors are better than ever. Russia and Korea. I see. Okay. I think I understand that war. Hey there, Buster. Yep. I think I can get away with just 2 planes up here. Okay, looks like they've scurried and hidden this way. Need to get those 2 in, then we'll squash this and I'll just give it away to somebody or another. Meanwhile, oh, there we go. Let's creep through. Alright, this stack doesn't have a proper medic. That's their problem. But if I get them all in here, it'll be too overcrowded. It's fine. Come on, don't fail to spread the solar cult. That's the good one of the ton of different ones. Alright. Whatever, there. Alright. How did Tokugawa, whose remains are in Australia, end up as a vassal of Greece? Strange things happen. Dry dock was destroyed by enemy infiltrators. The Armenians. It's always the Armenians somehow. I know they're to blame. Alright, one sec. Music really changed at different points. Someone gave me a thing for different music for the early game. Let me see. Airports. Airports! Everybody gets an airport. They're a big deal. They help band-aid my economy just a little. He shouldn't have. He should have taken the tech. I'm annoyed at him for not taking the tech. Siberia, what the heck? You're so far behind, you really needed that. Don't be nice to me. Take the tech. Take them all. I'd seriously give them every tech if I could. Russians doing here? Alright, next turn these guys will be in position, and this stack can roll out. It's at full health. I'm gonna roll out now. I'll just leave a motorized infantry behind. That'll probably be enough. Alright, we're gonna knock this out. Oh, and we can turn around and go the other way. It's actually my medic. I sure hope nothing bad happens to him. Well, we've got air coverage now. That should help. Okay. Ah, our first TAC bomber. Okay. What do we want? Bombard damage, collateral damage, operational range, evasion chances. Well, if you can't deliver the goods, it doesn't matter how hard you hit. Man. Guess we'll give you tactical formations. Fine, I'll put you here. Oh, wait. Oh, I think I see what happened. Oops. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll fix it next turn. That's fine. Do with that. Actually, let me check something. Ah, crap! We just started playing. You can't crash already. We've had like what, 2 turns? Shit. That's the game reminding me that I should be saving every turn. Doggone you, game. Fine. I must finish this. I must. Let me see. Did you autosave perchance? That's a yes. That's a definite yes, it's saved. Okay, good. Thank you, game. Actually, let me fiddle with the options for a second. I may actually be able to save myself a whole lot of grief. Except Solar Cult. Because they already have the best thing. Decreased maintenance cost. They're the proper conqueror's religion. Although the Islam manages to be an even better conqueror's religion. Every city you take is automatically converted. Ridiculous. Of course, Crusaders are pretty good for conquering too. I haven't used them in forever, but they're ridiculous. They're insane. They have this crazy level up that gives them more attack power than anything else can get. But they take these horrific penalties. It makes them very lopsided, but as long as you're very careful to keep them safe, they're unstoppable. And then you give them guns later on. Gurus might be the least useful. Whoops. Okay. Oh, it's this music track. One of those absurdly epic ones. no setting for autosave. Alright. I'm gonna fiddle with it. And maybe it'll crash less if I alter the graphic settings. Probably not, but hey, one can hope. Alright. The next time it crashes, it'll go in with lower graphical settings. Alright. Fair enough. It'll inevitably crash. We might decide they're too ugly. But probably will be okay. As long as we can finish the game, it'll be okay. Let's see, so you're just some... Okay. Lost one move, that's acceptable. Okay, very good. Hey, this time I won't mess up rebasing you. Okay, it can rebase and it can act on the same turn, unlike the fighters. I have to scout first, and then I can bomb. I get it. Okay. We're figuring out how this whole air thing works. I wonder if tactical bombers were able to land on, aircraft carriers. I'm not going to be able to get aircraft carriers anytime soon, so I guess it doesn't matter. Armenian spies. You don't say! I know who's been screwing with me, burning all my buildings, stealing all my money. They hate me with an intensity that can never be, should never be underestimated. Seriously, I don't think I've seen penalties like what I've got with them. So, scout. Okay, that does take your entire turn. Interesting. Okay, I have a small problem here with these bombers. They're not allowing me to bomb the city defenses. I don't know why they're not either. Oh yeah, I was gonna check. Right, when it crashed. Hold on, this is an important thought. Okay, alright, let me see. Ah, power projection. I could literally go for the aircraft carriers as my next move. Somebody already has them. Enables super carrier. Yeah. I would sure like that. And I'd have paratroopers, which is something I never use. Helicopters, plastics, yes, guided missiles. Okay, here's contemporary art. Hey. I don't think there's another set of science anywhere. I think we've done all the science that we're gonna ever get. So I no longer have a use for great scientists. Huh. Yeah, I think that's the case. probably use artists. Of course, artists don't produce science, so that's not the greatest thing, but... How many artists can I even make? Not many. Let's look for the cities that have 50 or less turns to great person and give them chances of producing art. It's always just going to be 5. Oops. That's not right. Where was it? Here it is. Not a big fan of the artist in and of itself. Unless you're on a border, it doesn't seem particularly good. Merchants are, of course, good too. But a couple of great, specifically great artists would be most welcome. Oh, only 1,010 turns. Priests aren't going to do anything at this point. Great prophets, I mean. Think that a great prophet could do something, but you'd be mistaken. They can do nothing at this point. Hello. Alright. That's probably enough. It wasn't. Never mind. Alright, we'll go with that. Let's save. We're just gonna become a spastic saver here and save constantly. Before that next crash comes, inevitably. Alright, let's see. There we go. Army is together once again. Why, hello there. Oh, I could gift this all to Korea. You have a plane, that's nice. Let's see. Anti-bombers can't reach that far anyway. No, full artillery to bear. Looks like this is shaping up well. I think it needs more reconnaissance. And artillery. Well, we'll see. I don't know why the bombers can't do damage to a city's defenses. Maybe the regular bombers can, and TAC bombers might only be for hitting, What? You guys have shields. You guys are some medieval crap. What are you? Oh, well, they vanished into the oil fields. Ah. We might also start making machine gun nests again. Alright, let's see. These guys are pretty cool. They're immune to collateral damage. They're just pretty cool. Oh, I like it. Oh, we got 2 in 1 turn. Great. Alright, we're gonna try making regular bombers now. Yeah, these can't bomb city defenses. I need full-size bombers for that. That's what I thought was going on. So we'll make some regular bombers now. But anyway, we've got a nice little set of tactical bombers with evasion. scout. Awesome. Huh. One bomb, but they're able to move and then do it. Very cool. Alright, your defenses, they're gone. Your troops, they're blasted. Alright, that'll be a level up for you. Oh, hey, look at this, a new great general. I am going to store you in my capital. There are some techs coming up where you might be handy. Alright. Now I need to get back to the fight. I feel like I'm in some kind of amoeba slowly enveloping Hungary here. Alright, where were we? So you get to level up. Yay. I should keep the shock troops getting XP too. Keep them to level. I still have immortals. Neat. Let's see what we got here. Mongolian, Korean, Persian, Norse, Hungarian, Hunnic, and Armenian. And nothing of interest. Wasn't expecting anything of interest here. Really? You guys want this? That seems rather crazy to me. No, I think I'll give it to the Hun. Okay, another civ removed. Armenians, you're bleeding civs left and right. Haran? He burned Babylon. I have no love for him either. Oh, you don't want it. That's fine. Good buddy. Okay, yes. Perfect. Please take this off my hands.
Stop.
Okay. Give it to a third party who's not involved in the war. It's like, here, I killed Persia for you, take it. Wow. Enough to offset that negative 11 down there. Interestingly, giving them a city doesn't appear to have made them like me any better. Oh well. I just don't want a city that's borders are completely crushed. So... you know, it's funny, you could give somebody like there could be two people fighting and you could give one side a dozen cities and a massive army. Just gift it to them, and I don't think that it would actually diplomatically count against the other nation that's at war with them. I don't think. But you never would give somebody an army. I mean, sometimes you do, but like, usually they have to be your vassal before you're willing to give them support of that kind, because you just know that that army is going to be turned against you otherwise. Yeah, sure, I love my friends. Okay, let's see. This time, we're building the big bombers. Huge range, can bomb cities. Not quite as fast and maneuverable, but they're shooting stuff down. These planes aren't gaining any speed, though. The tactical bombers. Bombing things doesn't get them any better at bombing things. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright. Going for Tarsus. We're gonna pull our armies together. I had originally been moving to take this one out way back. God, every time I look at the destruction of Babylon, I'm just like, arrgh. The Incans control this? What? Huh? The Incans? Hold up. Wait a sec. The Incans? How are you involved in this hemisphere? Okay, let me see. Okay, that doesn't explain anything. I have no idea how that happened. It feels like it must have been recent, though, because the city's got a decent size, even though it's got no borders. So, this may require further investigation. See, he controls no tiles, but he's got a population of 15 and 7 turns here. Improved medium tank is... Whoa! F-47 Thunderbolts. Bombers. But that tank at a 29 is better than anything I've got. Scary. Technologically ahead of me, and what is he doing here? This place makes no sense for him. He has to be at war with the Armenians, then. Well, I mean, alright, fine. I mean, it's weird, but if he is fighting the Armenians, then I guess that's good for me. After I went through all the trouble to break all their armies, he swoops in and starts scooping cities. The sheer distance from his main forces, the maintenance price is going to be unbearable. Alright, I'm thinking of moving my palace for tax purposes, and you're just going to take cities over here? Ah. I already did that one. I already took care of that. They're not a problem anymore. I don't care to fight the last war again. We have our current issues to deal with. Lots of airports coming. fishing boats again. I have subs for this. It's raining outside. And it's windy too. So I guess I just plant them all from now on. And I'll tell you, if they somehow manage to sneak commandos all the way to here to burn this place down, the only thing to defend it is this old... I have 11 great scientists planted here, 5 great merchants, a spy, a couple prophets, most of the world's wonders. The great generals founding all the things, founded the doctrines here. But it's in the very center of my empire. Nothing is getting here without me seeing it coming. We are upgrading our trains, our rail lines, which will help us move faster. I'm glad the workers have something to do. I should be saving. I'm not saving. No crash? No crash? Ah, no crash. Good. Right. Our new forces here. We've got bombers. We've got masses of tanks coming. Alright. Are we ready to move out of these cities yet? I think so. Fishing boats being wrecked. A buccaneer? What? Do I not have anything left to defend this sector? Make me a submarine. Torpedo boat! There's a buccaneer over here. The absurdity. Where did that come from? Alright. What's massing down there will move forward. Oh, hey, look! My friends have sent me some skirmishers. Some spearmen. Oh, and a heavy warrior. Oh, wow. We're gonna move all of this forward soon. We'll need some bombers down here. We're gonna be able to return to having a three-pronged attack, but we're gonna have to be very careful with it. My economy swings wildly from one turn to the next. Uh-oh, what's going on there? What was all that now? What would I do if the Incans suddenly took, like, all this area? Make peace with the Armenians and then fight the Incans for it? I would grab their techs, which would be nice. Then they might have a fleet come over here on my weak underbelly. I wouldn't like that very much. Pleased. We let bygones be bygones. It's very nice. Let's see. Right, hunting the buccaneer. Wow, it almost killed my torpedo boat somehow. Of troops marching around. It's all Russian? Oh my gosh, they took it? They took it. The Incans have taken 2 cities now. They've got marines, they've got all kinds of stuff here that's stronger than anything I've got. I will take this one. I'm gonna have to fight him off. His tech is so far ahead of mine, I don't know how I'm gonna fight him off. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Comes to swoop in after I do all the work. That is unacceptable. I'll have to reposition my fleet. I was going to use them to conquer down here. I still will, but then I'm going to have to turn them around immediately if we're going to do this. Incans here. I can't get over this. Why are they here? It's the same way I felt when the Koreans went to Europe, which was their biggest mistake. Can you imagine if they'd scooped up all of Australia and all the islands and everything over here instead? It would have been completely different to fight them. Anyway. It's the same old lesson it always is. The Armenians declare war on somebody, a rising power declaring war on a greater power, and then the moment that things start to, that they finally start to falter, somebody else swoops in. And it's the third party that actually profits. I really did. It took so much for me to get them in the position where I could crush them. With somebody else to do it. Oh, it's frustrating. I didn't think I was ever going to be fighting the Incan. I thought I'd just ignore them. Defenses lower. Ah, it's out of range. Curses. The tactical bombers don't have the reach they need. The prices on these things. Ooh. Alright, let's see. I broke the Air Force, I broke the Ground Force. Once I put a big old plug here, I should be able to stop their reinforcements. And then just scoop the rest of this. Lock them out of this continent. Ah, motorized infantry, yes. Ooh, what's that? Something that shouldn't be there. I think it's actually time. I think it's actually time this started moving. What the? There are multiple privateers in this stack. Alright. Okay, that's gonna be ready to move out. Alright, let's see here. Stuff. I'm gonna leave the half-tracks. You know what, actually, no, that's the whole point. The tanks can move. Yeah, okay. Hello, boys. Shit happens. Ah, you're building a whole bunch of tanks of your own, I see. So far, we've lost a tank. Alright, we don't have a lot of artillery, so we're going to be relying on the bombers. And the fleet. Thanks for the XP, Om nom. So we're gonna scooch around the edges here. Won't be able to short bombard that one, but most of the rest. Now Damascus, that one's gonna be the tricky one to get at, because it's not on the shore. It's in the middle of everything. That'll be where this army descends towards. We'll hit these two and then move down. I need more counterintelligence. I miss having science. Science was nice. We were world leaders in science at no point, but we were always close. save us. They will provide us with trade routes. Oh, they damaged one of my bombers. Than mine. It's enough that it is a problem. Man, these light tanks are handy. Alright, let's, I guess, throw the medium. Curses. Shock through time. There are always more tanks. Oh, you guys are just the doctors. Alright, I think we've done enough collateral damage. Triple strike light tanks are insane. Oh, citizens are forming up. Were forming up. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a place. Ah, yes, of course. Significant enough to deal with that. I know he has a few tanks now, so with the rail he might be able to get them there. But, oh hey, finally you have some space. Well, isn't that nice? There's not much left, but this pile is going to move on this one. I'm going to keep the planes together. Oh, good, a bomber. It's the same speed. I'll take a boat at this point. Oh, that's already been done. Yes. Okay. Ah. Okay. Then we will just keep them coming. Actually, I think that is pretty much it for those. Ah, here. I don't know how these pirates are hurting my submarines. specific resources that you're after? They do have uranium. The Incans are ahead of me on the tech tree. They might be thinking about uranium, but don't they have uranium on their own continent? Once again, my lack of knowledge about where the world's uranium mines are located. Well, destroyed another ironworks. I took your capital, so there, yeah. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and spit out missionaries for a bit. Oh yeah, new bronzesmith. Nice. Could always use another bronzesmith. Arrived. Short bombardment. This army doesn't quite have it.
Ah, you to do it well.
Whoa. Nice. You know what? Maybe a turn to relax wouldn't be so bad. Push some defenders in there. Three damage, or 3 different soldiers took damage. Nice. I wonder where the rest of his armies are, why they haven't moved forward yet. Oh yeah, you guys lost a tank. Here you go. We have reserves. Well, that happened. Uh-oh. Not mid torpedo boats! Blitzkrieg, that's not good on the defense. That fort does nothing for it. It's a fort on wheels! Well, treads. But, yes, it's not a defensive unit. Ah, well. It's hard to attack into rail lines. They still have regular roads mixed in. Doesn't really matter. They have enough rail coverage that it doesn't matter at all. Whoop! I hope we just saved. Please tell me I just saved. We'll find out. Oh, man. The Armenians so much stronger than I expected, and the Incans. I really thought by this point that I would be just crushing things, but losing that main army the other day. Still shocked that that could happen. Alright. Oh, looks like the autosave triggered. That's good. Every time the game crashes, it should give me a +1 happiness as an inconvenience fee. Oh man, the music in this game! Get a hold of the Realism Invictus music if you can. It is dynamite. I love the opening one. It's a Japanese orchestra singing through the 4 seasons, I think. Something like that. Man. Yeah, no, it's music. It's incredible. If you play the original game without the mods, you get to have Leonard Nimoy read everything to you too for the text. Alright, looks like we were... Wait. Doggone it, game. Alright, well, not that big a deal. We can fix this. Let's see. Bomb the city with all of our bombers. Blast it with all of our artillery. Okay. Oh, how did I do this? You know what? We'll just start with the shock troops, and then we'll roll the tanks in. I can't help but feel that that's backwards, but the shock troops are meant to be first through the breach. Did this without losing a unit last time, I think. No, wait, I lost 1 medium tank last time. Which are really supposed to defend the stack and provide reconnaissance bonuses, but... Perfect. And then... I decided this was going to move out. They'll be the reinforcements. We'll rebase those. Ships have already done their shore bombardment. More armored divisions moving forward. There's our spreads. You know, it's funny, we still have this little patch where our border's never quite closed in the middle of our empire, right next to my capital, actually. Huh. There's like nothing there and no reason to put a city there. But it's always an option. I could shove something in there. Gain me a few more tiles. Oops. Alright, let me see. turns, we'd gain another tile from that direction. 1,000 turns. "71 turns. This one will push out. I'm not sure if that'd be 2 tiles or 3 tiles from this range. Anyway, it is slowly closing. Slowly. I'll have 1 legendary cultural city, and no plans to have any more. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go grab something. I will return in before my new turn starts, I think. Maybe. Probably, I think. Alright. The cottonwood this year are unbelievable. It's like a storm of cotton falling through the air. Or at least it was until it started raining a whole ton the other day. It's actually also been a rainy summer. Anyway, I kind of like it, though I do recognize it's an invasive species. But I know somebody who is terribly allergic, well, not terribly, but is allergic to cottonwood, and it's terrible when there's this much of it. So, there's a trick you can do, though. Something my father started doing years ago. Anyway, you just buy a box fan. Just a regular, you know, I think ours is a 20 by 20. Inches. Anyway, it's just a box fan, you know, a square fan, and then you get a boiler filter. You just get a filter. You just get a filter, and you just basically take some duct tape. It's the same size, 20 by 20, and you just duct tape it onto the fan, and there you go. I don't know what kind of price people pay for hypoallergenic filters, but, you know, big filtering machines and stuff, but you can get the, you can just buy the filter, duct tape it to a fan, and you're done. It works. And you'll see over time, as it picks up dust and other garbage, that the filter will slowly turn black. And that's all stuff that would be in your lungs. And then when it gets too dirty, you just buy another one. Throw the old filter away and tape a new one on. Anyway, get just an allergenic one, and it'll catch mold spores, it'll catch dust, it'll catch all sorts of stuff. Hello! Hopefully that helps someone out there. Man, I want to do something about these Incans in these 2 cities, but I don't really want to open a whole nother can of worms just yet. So I'll just ignore them, ignore the problem, and let it become worse. let's just... We'll just wait. Okay. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I make peace with the Armenians after I've finished. Do I go chase them into Africa immediately? Or do I stop them in the group? Maybe take out these Incans. Big ship wins. What a surprise. I'll definitely have to have my navy on this side, though. I'll have to be watching for his transports. One fleet could be my undoing. Go ahead and make a Airport. Airports. That's probably enough to hold this. It better be, because that's my air base. And then... my bomber is getting messed up. Okay. This army should be able to handle that. He's got a lot of freighters parked in there. This army is going to move down, and it's finally going to take the pass here, cutting the rest of his empire off. And taking out yet another of his precious vassals. Well, that scoops that way. That can come down. We should be able to completely clear the Middle East here. I think so. I think the Middle East is mine at this point, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Garage, planes, we've hit you with everything. Alright, here we go. Stop that game. I want to be here. Now. Oop, nope, not that one. You're specifically good against my armor, are you? Well, how unfortunate. Success! That's no glory. We'll take risks. Planes are removed. You never built anything interesting in any of your cities. Babylonians did. But then again, they only had one city. Once we could combine ours, that should give us an even stronger style tank. Heavy tanks. Alright, let's hit the next one. added speed by using the boats in this case, but the next one will be different. Alright. These three are gonna go there. More tanks! Never enough tank. Yeah, we're definitely going to use the boats to go around the holy city of Solar Cult! Because the Armenians were hoarding all the holy cities. Mess with those infantry, I need those. Stupid tanks. They do kind of fit the hole. Shit. I'm gonna have to use the Navy to transport stuff to hold the ground. That's the only way to do it. Don't like it. It's tough. Cities become harder to hold, but land becomes easier to hold at this stage in the game. They're heading on a crusade.
юу гэж айлтсан бом дээрээ байна. Юу төлөвлөж байна вэ? Хөт элэн. Юу хийх вэ? Юу төлөвлөж байна вэ?
Oops. As long as we stay near the shore, we can fast track units, so let's take these three. Okay. Tactical bombers. Go!
Зарлига буулгана уу?
Airports are coming. How many trade routes does the average city have? This will provide one more, as well as that 50%. 50%. I don't really have a lot of villages or towns, but... well... we're about to start building bigger tanks. The tank's bigger than yours. It Yeah. You're losing more men than I am. Oh my gosh, they blew up a railway station. Stop it. Stop wrecking everything. Their military terrifying. Their espionage wing terrifying. These guys were just tough to deal with. Let's see. Bombings, artillery barrages. Shock troops who aren't really meant to attack. Well, what can you do? I'd have relived the President days. Must be my propaganda. I mean, my cultural investments. Yes. Okay, these two can go here. That's a reasonable force. Ooh, 4 great artists, finally! A city that does something. Okay, to live there now. Alright, we finally cleared this area. This is gonna expand forth. But giving me enough time to move. Oh, look at how much mobility that gave me. Nice. Okay. Perhaps we can stamp this out the same move. I just want to fight this battle over here. Do you mind, game? Alright, fine.
Down to defeat building.
Make the rest of our moves real quick. Okay, now, as we would. Bowmen, light infantry.
I need 30 good men. Heading.
Yes. Oh, 5 artists and a spy. Nice. Okay. Still some light infantry there. and we control the pass. Just put a couple of guys in here to protect the hardware, okay? That's all. Thanks. Okay. There. Let's save. Let's save that. That was a great turn. Excellent turn. Alright. Just need the Luxor. About to take her. This stack is going to come down for Damascus while this one moves this way. And the third one will take all the edge towns. Perfect. We'll have seized the whole of the Middle East except for what the Incans took up top. Can't help that. Yet. Hello. Hey, Jacob. Yeah. Antimatter dimensions. I need to resume playing that. I've left it sitting around for quite a while. It's continuing to grow and gain ground this whole time, but it's rather absurd. Alright, let me see. Alright, you've got your mountain rangers. Make a step machine gun. Curses. Now that I have no more use for scientists, all my push towards making great scientists is gonna be a pain. Does it? It wouldn't be bad, but that's really a light tank trick. You can take a turn to heal. I'm gonna put these two here. Those two are gonna guard. This stack moves on. Alright, we're gonna relocate all of our air. That's probably... Nope. There's probably nothing in range for those then. Tactical bombers, not quite got the reach. But regular bombers, well, that's a different story, isn't it? I think I've crushed his air force for the most part. I'll figure. 14, let's call that 15,000 towards molecular biology. What would that actually mean? Not much. It needs 503, and you would give me 15,000. Yeah, that's not going to help at all. Strike in either of two different directions from that will not hold for long. How many random infantry can you shove here? In a second, I'm going to cut your reinforcements off entirely. You can't have much left. I know I've said that many times in the past, but it must be true at this point. There's no possible way you can have forces left after everything that has happened. You know what? I don't even mind. On second thought, yeah, I don't even mind. It's costing you money. That's what matters. This has become a war of attrition somewhere along the line. And I will win it. Steps from the Luxor. Not the glorious armies I once held, but there's 3 armies advancing. Yes. Yes. You have proven to be one hell of an opponent. But you shouldn't declare war on me. Beard to go. Wizard should know better here. One of these are specifically anti-armor build. Oh. Ooh, these tanks are now a mess. See, these two. There, they'll hold that, and then all of that can advance. Alright, let's see. Meanwhile, we see the target. One plane to stop us with. Can't do anything with these tactical bombers. Wait a minute. Maybe. Ah! Okay, we can hit the Luxor. I'll give them time to repair. Pull up our screen. 2 turns till combined arms. One turn till combined arms. You know, it hasn't crashed since I touched the settings, even though they're not supposed to come into play until it crashes. Coincidence? Probably. Probably not. Be sure. I can't see the city yet somehow. Alright, fine. Come within sight next turn. Alright. Here we are. Is that the last thing you have in the air? Good. Ugh. Get boats. You know what? I can give them one turn to heal and rest. To do their repairs or whatever it is they need to do. Tokugawa has some forces here. Oh, because you're a coastal sub. You can't attack them. Okay, fine. We'll deposit those next turn. Cities are shrinking. That's the war weariness. Causing people not to work. They must have a fleet in the Mediterranean. The Incans.
Strike hard and fast, and do not separate.
Perhaps we should build the super heavy tank. Alright. Plastics. Natural gas. Napalm strikes. Chemical plants. But mostly natural gas. Carrier has arrived. This is what I want the most. This has the possibility of being completely outrageous. What I could do with it. Let's get an aircraft carrier. We can upgrade our tanks. Wow. Okay, that would be 4 points of attack. 4 points of attack on these as well. I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely gonna do it. We need that power. How goes it? War. War never changes. Except actually it does change constantly. It plays completely differently from one era to the next. I've got tactical bombers. I've got regular bombers. I've got fighters set up to do interceptions. I've got offshore bombardments. I've got tanks. I've got varying artillery. I've got a lot of stuff, man. Speaking of bombers. Okay. And I've got Blitzkrieg. Looks like this one's gonna hurt. They've got this place well defended. This army isn't really an attacking army. Should I take another turn to bombard them more, or should I just hammer them with my tanks? Tanks! 2 tanks lost. 3. 3 medium tanks down. Now the light tanks. Actually withdrew. Mountain infantry. Alright, the shock troops, which are trained specifically to hold cities, not attack them.
Sir.
Well,
Sir.
jeez. I should wait till next turn and bombard them again. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Oh, this can become self-propelled artillery. Nice. Alright. That's all I can afford to upgrade this turn. We'll give it another turn. Then I'll drop off the motorized infantry and pick up the rest. We'll scooch around to hit him in the side. I have almost everything necessary for nukes, but I don't want them to exist at all. Nukes are one of the few things that could completely ruin me. They're one of the few things that could completely upset the game in... Well, I mean, this game's been kind of upset a couple of times now already, but they're bad. I don't want them. Nuclear weapons, bad. They can make my wonderful armies disappear in a snap. Nukes are great for underdogs. They're really awful when you're the guy who is on top of the world. All someone need do is start mass producing them. Would not like that. Well, did you see the last one? I had my 3 armies that had survived all those wars and been so insane, especially the main army with like 5 or 6 great generals in it. It was destroyed. And my second strongest army was destroyed, and I scraped together what was left into my 3rd army. And I've just been mass-producing blitzkrieg tanks since. And aircraft and things. Well, I finally broke through the Armenians, despite the massive damage they did to me, only to discover the Incan are both technologically ahead of me, and for some reason they started scooping up Armenian cities after I broke them. So, I think that's an act of war there. Anyway, I've finally taken this path, so Armenians won't be able to come from Africa into the Middle East. I'm finally cutting their empire in 2. And I've ended like 3 civs since the start of this war. Seriously. Alright. Hey look, we have a prophet and an artist here. Neat. Honestly, the longbow had done as much. A longbowman could be trained not a master longbowman, but somebody who would know, who could put an arrow in a general direction, could be trained in like 6 months. You could have a whole bunch of longbowmen. All they've got is, a big old piece of wood with a string on it. You train a whole bunch of those guys in 6 months. Then you have the knight, who's trained his entire life and is wearing all of this plate mail and is riding a horse. And the longbowmen sort of win that engagement. Honestly, the longbow changed warfare monumentally. Though the funny thing is, armor remained a factor in warfare well into the age of guns. Way longer than people think. Because a good suit of plate mail would stop bullets. Longbows and crossbows were actually more effective at armor piercing for quite a while, actually. But everyone, for some reason, thinks the gun ended armor. Sort of, but not exactly, but sort of. Semi-automatic weapons were created specifically to combat people wearing plate mail. I mean, that's quite a ways in there. I don't know about that. I've seen videos. At what distance should be the question. At what distance does the armor does the longbow cease to penetrate? Because, Yeah. Anyway. 50 meters? Maybe. I don't know. I've always heard that longbow arrows can punch right through plate mail. And I know for a fact that bullets did not punch through plate mail. Bullets absolutely did not penetrate plate mail forever. It took a long-ass time before you could consistently kill somebody with a gun. God, that's why that one show, there was this stupid show, like Ultimate Warrior or something like that, where they're like, we will test their weapons. They did pirate versus knight. And the knight's got like a mace and a crossbow and full plate mail. And the pirate, he's got this explosive bomb thing. It doesn't penetrate plate mail. He's got a blunderbuss. It shoots. It's like a shotgun. It doesn't penetrate the knight's armor. Literally nothing the pirate has, except maybe the boarding axe, can actually possibly hurt the knight. And then they do, now we're going to run our simulations on the computer with 1,000 fights. The pirate wins. Excuse me? You just spent the last half an hour explaining how the pirate could not hurt the knight under almost any circumstances. You guys, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Did you watch your own show? Ultimate Warrior, that might have been the name, yeah. Steel can penetrate steel. That's a misnomer. For the same reason that diamonds can cut diamonds. Yes it can. Things softer than steel, well, those have a very hard time penetrating steel. Things softer than diamonds, it's very hard to cut diamonds with something softer than diamonds. But when you reach equal strength, yes you can. Yeah. Armor check penalties, swim check. You're not so good at that one, are ya? See, I always factor that in whenever I make fantasy characters and they have any abilities that would make them extra dense. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, this person is practically bulletproof and awesome, but they're also very dense, and so I have to always keep in mind that they can't swim. Whether or not I mention that,
Down to the good building.
it depends on exactly what's all in play, of course. But as a general rule, if your skin is as hard as iron, you... Oh right, I can attack multiple times. Risky. This army is just not like my super armies of the past. They just don't compare with what I used to have before this war. But it looks like I've managed to break through. Finally. After multiple turns and significant losses. Looks like all he's got left is a big old pile of artillery. I think I've run out. I think I've run out of gas again. I'm gonna have to wait till next turn to advance. Hopefully he can't. I don't think he has anything left to reinforce. I think I've completely cut him off. Alright, there we go. Our new tanks are fully upgraded. Next turn we can move out. The pirate had 0 advantages over the knight. I'm sorry. It's been a while, but the pirate had nothing on the knight. Here's how it works. The knight's weapons. This will kill the pirate, 100% guaranteed if you hit the pirate with it. The pirate's weapon. Well, it's possible the boarding axe could maybe kill the knight. Maybe. The knight. This crossbow will 100% guaranteed kill the pirate, and from far greater ranges than anything the pirate wields. The pirate. I have a gun that's closer range that does not kill you. Ever. The knight. Like, every single weapon the knight has. Guaranteed 100% kill chance if it connects. The pirate. I have pistols that don't penetrate your armor, a blunderbuss that doesn't penetrate your armor, grenades that don't penetrate your armor. Also, my gun has a 50% chance of randomly not firing when I try to fire it. Okay, alright. Are we fighting on the deck of a ship where the pirates used to... No, we're gonna show the whole fight taking place on a seashore. Well, okay then. The knight is on a horse! Come on! They didn't give the pirate the cannon. Also, you're not going to hit a human with a cannon. I wrote rules in Dungeons and Dragons for using cannons. I've spent a great deal of time thinking about what it would mean to hit a person with a cannon. I mean, if you have grape shot and they're marching tightly packed as infantry, hell yeah, but if you want to shoot a person with a cannonball, that's not so easy to do. I don't know. I've no idea. That show was a mess. They had a bunch of episodes that were just kind of dumb. Where you're like, doesn't this violate everything you just said? Also, they would seriously underestimate certain historical weapons. They were convinced that, like, the sling would never hit anything. Like, you couldn't hit anything with a sling. I'm like, Excuse me, do you have a person actually trained in the use of a sling? No. You're just gonna assume that you can't hit anything with it. Yes, I'm sure that that's why people used to use this weapon, because it didn't work. That makes a lot of sense, right? No? You're just gonna write down that the sling is the most inaccurate thing ever. Okay, fine, whatever. That's just how you assume this thing goes. Okay. Never mind. Historical accounts of slingers being absurdly accurate because they've been training with this weapon their entire lives. Never mind any of that. Do I have a medical artillery? Huh. Neat. Alright, there we go. Alright, let me see. We'll get some defenses there, and then we'll move on. Alright, can we finally win this? Who's left? Ah, you. Should have gone for drill, actually. Oh man, the one of the few I really like parts of A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. There are parts of that novel that are brilliant, and one of them is when he gets into basically jousting type dueling kind of stuff. I forget the exact rules, but he's gonna fight a bunch of knights, and he's just he ties one end of a rope to his horse's saddle, and he just starts lassoing the knights and pulling them off their horse, because the rule is you have to dismount them, and he's just like, for my weapon I choose a rope, and nobody had ever seen anything like it before. I'm just like, that's brilliant. That is completely brilliant. And then he follows it up by having the guy pull out a pistol and shoot a whole bunch of knights dead with a handgun. I'm sorry, that's a handgun. That's not going to penetrate their armor, but I've already had my discussion about bullets and armor. Like, I could have maybe accepted it if they'd spent a scene explaining these guns that he makes, that he's specifically making armor-piercing rounds. I mean, it's the 1800s, but I mean, I'm sure, he could have sold me on it, but he didn't. He's just like, well, whatever, bang, 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 ha ha ha. Look at the knife, because most of the novel was just Mark Twain taking a shit on the ideas of knights. That was most of the novel, unfortunately, and it's a shame because in some ways it was such a brilliant work. And he just kind of spoils it, you know? Alright. Ooh, killed another one of my light tanks. I lost a lot in this fight. Alright, there we go. That was the keystone. Right there. Damascus was the keystone for the Middle East here. Another great artist. Neat. Get some troops over there to defend that. We can do more upgrades now. Alright, can't afford the last. We can use this as our air base. Should be able to strike multiple targets. Okay, we finished our upgrades. everything we've got. And with that, we can use our navy to transport to the next city. Yeah, well, a desert eagle is not something that existed in the middle of the 1800s either, you know. I have much respect for the firearms of the 1800s. But yeah, modern weapons, man. Wow. That's third degree at least. Assuming that she really is that stupid. Yeah, you know, a Bible will stop a bullet, but not a Desert Eagle bullet. Also, you don't play that game. You don't test to see how bulletproof or knife-proof something is. That's what things like ballistic gel are for. If you wanted to show a Bible would stop a bullet, you would set a Bible up, and then you'd shoot it, and you'd see if the bullet penetrated it or not. You wouldn't put a person behind it. I don't know, man. That might have been first degree. That might have just been that might have been a first degree one. Aha, my boyfriend's so stupid, he'll actually let me shoot him. No. Why would I want any of these? No. My foothold is now secure. I can ignore that henceforth. You guys can just keep healing. Alright. We have all kinds of things to do here. Become self-propelled. And so on. Alright, so the surviving tanks have all become much stronger. Excellent. Alright, a couple of these shock troopers are gonna go that way. We're talking about bullets, not vampires. Yeah, well, you know... God gave you perfectly good eyes, ears, and brain. If you're not going to use those things, if you're not going to use what he gave you, why should he protect you? This isn't an enemy sneaking up and shooting you in the back. This is just somebody being a total dumbass. Greece, who hates me, is telling me not to have dealings with Korea, who's actually a good friend of mine, despite our rocky history. Tell him off more sternly than that, but I don't want to start another war just now. We've got enough of that at the moment. That's YouTube. YouTube, censors the shit out of us. And they've been getting worse and worse about it over time. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna head for Mecca then, actually. Hi. Oh my, you have boats. Little boats. Alright, let's see. You actually do have planes left over. So after this, we're gonna have to load up and we're gonna go there. Uh-oh. No. I now control this pass. Shit, no, he does. Oh. Shit, he can still resupply. It would be risky for me to try to cut that off. It's one tank. Well, I did damage the shit out of it. It's probably not that big a threat. We've only got 4 cities left and we'll completely hold the Middle East. Well... looks like you couldn't stop my bombers from getting through. They're spec'd specifically to slip through you. You don't have any planes over here. I'm just gonna... Oh, okay, fine. I guess I can. Oh, right, because I already bombed the, tank. Yeah, once I touch those video settings, it looks like we're okay. We're not losing, we're not crashing anymore. Good. Oh, I think Monarch. I think the difficulty setting is Monarch. Shit, no, these guys are really good at defending cities. It is such a pain in the ass. You think all my bombings would be enough? I apparently play on the same difficulty that Walter Hawkwood, the guy who for the most part made this, plays it on. The settings above that are obscene. But there are people who play on those settings. Apparently they're more for multiplayer than single player experience, but there are crazy people. So... doggone it. I need to get a couple guys here.
Heading.
Just keep your forces together. Your stuff can just move around too well. But they are losing. They are losing.
Heading to the band.
Inch by inch. Death by inches. Yeah, sure, I'll take some scout planes. Take some losses again. That's life. Oh, maybe we aren't. Oh yeah, the tanks, they're rolling. Oh yeah, we upgraded them into new tanks. Seems like that was worthwhile. Alright. Okay, that's another one down. Oh, hey, look. Oh, neat. Well, it is the holy city for solar cult. There was a time when I controlled no holy cities. Now I control many.
Heading.
Alright, so we're gonna need to load up on the boat and head over to the next one. Short bombardments will help immensely with that. I need to make sure I keep enough here. The city can't fall. Alright. There. That should be enough of an army. Let's get some new forward base. Yeah, I can make vassals. I can actually make things become vassals, colonies. But we're going for a domination victory, which specifically requires me to control a lot of territory. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I should knock out the Incans. Look at this border all the way down to here. I probably should just wipe them off the map. But they'll probably not let me out of the war for a long time if I do that. Such a pain. Maybe I should just continue into Africa and take the whole continent. The Armenians will not be able to muster a new defense after what they've lost. Good. It's within... These bombers have really good range. For the wicked. On to the next stop. Smash that. There we go. Alright, that's a start. Bombing! Only 3 cities left. Let's keep going towards Mecca. We can take Mecca and Medina out at the same time. And then we can just jump our men over straight into Africa. Shaka Zulu burned Babylon. I have to punish him for that. Check and see how bad it is. Oh, his liking of me is going down. That is not good. Maybe he's upset I gave the Hungarians that city instead of him. Let's see. War unhappiness. 24 points of war unhappiness. That's pretty tough. We might have to take a peace break, but that just gives them time to build their armies up. Bombard. Oh, you have a tank up there. No, you don't. Oh, this particular bit of reinforcement isn't going to make it. Okay. We might have to make a temporary peace. I don't like it, but what can I do? Apparently my people don't like me making new friends. Turning old enemies into new friends. Yes, that is what we do with our tanks. It is at gunpoint, the best kind of diplomacy. The best way to settle old grievances. And make sure that they are dead and buried. Intelligence agents has defected. Unacceptable. An accident should happen to the traitor. Whatever. I don't care. You can have some intel. It's fine. That's right. It's the only way to be sure. So long as they have even one city, they can send spies to burn your buildings every other turn. But this is gonna suck. Even with my best. Let's see. All this crap. Let's see. Alright, here's what we do. There we go. We got it. Tenacious. We have to wipe out half the population. Another one. Wow, 20% Mongolian somehow. Cool. Okay, that guy's gonna live there now. That's why we brought him. 2 left. Just 2. Finally. Should I give this city to him like I had once planned? It would be his greatest city. Look at all these ruins from cities that they burned down. They burned down a lot of barbarians in their time. You know what, actually, I think I'll just keep it at this point. We've already spread all these religions and everything. Might as well just keep it. Vodka distillery. Shelters everywhere. Boy, I sure hope that's enough. At this point, I think it is. Bonk. Alright, I won't be able to bombard Medina directly. Alright, you can come back up here. I don't need 3 guys here. I do not need multiple units here. Okay. A little bit more iffy up high, but I'm gonna scooch these down. We're gonna consolidate and then use that. Okay, we're gonna rebase these in Luxor. At least I'm able to constantly do damage to what they push through. Alright, second to last city. There's the second time I've taken your capital. You'll have to move it someplace else now. Ooh, look at this. Huh. Ooh, +3 trade routes, +200% trade route yield. Disabled. Requires you to give up your free religion to use. I know. But I wish it weren't so. Alright. One more. And they're out of the Middle East. Cities are shrinking and starving all over from the massive unhappiness. I have to make peace after this. Suppose I can refocus my armies on another point. it. Not that now. You can make a coastal sub. Good.
لا يوجد حافز مضبوط.
I should make more bombers. We'll see. We'll know that when I've actually claimed the territory of the Middle East, which will be a few turns from now. So let's finish Medina and wait for the borders to pop. And then we'll know. We'll need a brief peace so that my Civ knocks off this war weariness nonsense, and we're going to make a very fast Africa push. I don't like giving him time to recover his armies, but it won't be enough time. We're just going to go wild. I don't know if I'm even going to have distinct proper armies, or if it's just going to be a massive mess tearing through as quickly as we can in all directions. I don't know. Could go either way. Oh no! I wasn't paying attention, and he won the cultural victory this early. Holy shit! Oh! Shit! I didn't think it could be done this early. I broke his capital in his top cities a long time ago. Whoa! Whoa! A come from behind victory! Yeah, I just lost the game. Holy shit! I did not think that was even... Look at this. How did he do it? How did he do that? Look at this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have 54 turns before my capital reaches that level, and he has 3 cities that struck it. My capital has like every world wonder in the game, just about. How did he do that? Oh my gosh, how did he pull that off? Oh! I should have been watching for it. I really didn't think it could be done this soon. I had so many world wonders stacked in my capital, and it wasn't at that level. And he managed to get 3 cities despite the fact that I broke and took several of his best cities earlier. That's ridiculous. Alright. Here's the big thing. Here's the big thing we've been waiting to see. God, I was pretty sure Africa and Europe would do it. I had the armies. It was unfortunately going to need 15 turns apiece to reset the war weariness clock. Because my cities were we were looking at 25 unhappiness and growing. I saw my cities were shrinking all over the place. But I had everything done. What a roller coaster that game was. Alright, let's watch. So this is every nation in the world, and we're going to watch things happen. Man, look at the Americas, how they start. Huh. There's really only a few actual players in America. You have the Aztec and the Incas. So... Nope, I lost. I told you 3 streams ago I hadn't won. There are multiple victory conditions that could have come up. The game isn't over until it's over. So that was a loss. Jeez, if I had seen it, I would have shifted my men and I would have... He might have been able to defend himself, depending on how early I caught it. I'm not good at Navy, and he's a naval power. I might not have been able to stop him from winning. I might not have been capable of breaking his thing, because I was falling further and further behind on tech because of, well, just because of my size and my economy. And people keep declaring war on me. Seriously, that Armenian War, they started it. And they crushed 2 out of 3. They crushed my strongest 2 armies, which I still can't believe they did. But they did. They broke my strongest armies and really shut down my offensive, although I did break them in the end and take the whole Middle East in the end. So, here we go. Okay. There I am. So, as we watch, we can see new cities being founded. There's China, Spain, Russia just found another city. You can see everyone is getting ahead of me early on because the AI has certain advantages in production and such that the player does not. So they're able to build more stuff and build faster. So already South China's got at least 3 cities. China has 3 cities. Korea, oh, that's a 4th. You can see Japan doing their thing. Yeah. I don't think I would play the Mongols again. Starting with so much mountain and desert, I had a very, very tough start. If I had had a stronger start, I could have probably... Look at how many barbarian cities are formed. Holy crap, that's a lot of barbarians. Yeah. I've played as the Incans before. It's really hard playing in the New World because you don't have enough people to tech trade with. So you can kind of see the Mongols, even at this point, are still a small part. Man, Korea and South China are going at it. Here's the guy who eventually wins. He already has a chunk of Australia. He's already up here as well. And all the way over here. This is actually kind of the borders of his empire. He's already kind of established his territory. There's Mongolia slowly pulling itself together. I had no religion, no holy city. My start was rough. Yeah, the light green guy. He's the one who won. I took Big Ben from him. I took his best cities from him, or at least a couple of them. Oh, wow, look at that go. Barbarians are getting torn up. China is wrecked. They held me back, and really, yeah, I had a hard time fighting China. Once I crushed China, that's when I began to gain momentum. When the Mongols took China, they finally started to get momentum. Yes. I still remember the Incan game, when I thought I was doing really good, having most of South America, and then suddenly the Spanish drop all these conquistadors on my doorstep, way ahead of me on the tech tree, and I'm just like, no. Yeah, Korea's gonna become a powerhouse shortly. They just played really weirdly. Yeah, I would have been so much better off had I played Japan or China or Korea. The Mongols have a harsh environment that they have to get started in. Still fight. Oh, I just took China's capital. That's it. China broke. I beat them. There. 1, 2, 3. They're gone. And so now we're going to see the borders pop. But Korea took out South China. So. I'm going to speed it up a little. Alright. Yep. So it took a while after this for me to gain more ground. There's a lot that holds back your size. Okay, here we go. I'm starting to take the north. This is where our next big expansion happens. Korea, meanwhile, has already taken a chunk of India. Ah, this guy. That city will be there for a long time. Yeah, he is. He actually is having a very easy game during the early game. Actually, he might be the best player to play as if you want Naval Empire, which is my favorite build. I've never tried him. I've done Britain, which lost to Scotland this time. I've done Japan. Greece is fun. Carthage is great. Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay, now I'm gonna have territory. Unfortunately, all the cities I took had no buildings in them, because I took them from Siberia. So, oh yeah, green just got destroyed, just dismantled. And then I come in, crunch, crunch. Okay, now I have all of this. From this point on, I think I'm the largest empire in the world. Starting at this moment, once the borders fill in, I had reached more than a third of the world's population. Now, the next trick I was going to do after I got the carrier was I was going to gain propaganda, and I would be able to make massive, massive numbers of conscripts. So my plan was largely to push into Europe with my superior tanks. I was going to have my carrier. And then for Europe, I was going to do the conscription thing. God, I can't believe he pulled a cultural victory. That must have been his game plan from the very beginning, though. Ah. How did he pull it off so early? Oh, shit! I had a cultural penalty as my drawback. That's right. Okay, because I was using my capital as a measuring stick on the cultural victory. Like, I wasn't even... As long as my capital doesn't reach legendary, I don't have to think about this. Because I had so many wonders stacked up there. Like, when that reached legendary, that was going to be the point where I was going to start paying attention to that. But I should have been watching earlier. Yeah, barbaric. I had negative 20 to my culture. 20%. 20% off. Yeah. Even so. Good grief. Oh, there I go. I claimed this corner now. You can still see this unclaimed strip in the middle of my territory. Okay, this blue guy's gonna go next. He's gonna get annihilated. There's still some free land in the Sahara. Nobody want the Sahara Desert? Yeah. Most of it's water, but the green guy, he might control the second most territory, if you count the water tiles. Now, Korea's gonna be really weird in a second. They're gonna start attacking Europe. Because they're insane. I'm gonna go ahead and speed the clock a little bit more. We're already in 1500s. The conquests are gonna start happening much faster now. Come on, we destroy the blue guy around now, don't we? don't we? Oh no, I was lusting after the holy city. I go for India next. That's right, because I had to have it. I had to have a holy city. I had gone this far in the game. Never have I not had one for this long. You can see all the cities changing hands here. The red text. Cities are changing. Europe is just a hotbed of conflict. The Norwegians are, this is when they were dominant. They looked like they were going to become the dominant faction in the world, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I gave the Siberians back their land when they betrayed me. I remember that now. No, my first crushing defeat was against China at the very, very, very beginning of the game. India was not an easy one either. I had some losses there too. India was tough. But I just cracked them. There they go. And then I make them my bestest friends. Okay, now I want to see how the Armenians became so ridiculous. I want to keep an eye on the Persians. Were one hell of a fight. I couldn't believe the fight the Persians put up when we finally go up against them. I don't know, maybe. It might have been. A holy city provides massive benefit to you, though, if you hold it. But might have been. I'm not entirely sure what direction would have been better, though. I mean, instead of India, what else could I have done? I couldn't fight Korea. I could have taken on Japan, but I didn't have a navy, so that would have been dangerous, but I could have. Or I could have gone for this blue guy. I don't remember the alliances and the situation with the blue guy. You're right that it's not as important as in vanilla, but it's still important. But yeah, in vanilla, holy cities are everything. You can just build the entire game around having a religion and making that religion dominant. Actually, in vanilla, you could have all the holy cities. And actually, the Aztec are doing terrifyingly well. I think it's the Koreans that actually break them. So at this point, Korea took out Norway. The Norwegians are no longer a major player. They took out France and Spain and just this whole area here. I think he starts taking this, and that's when I strike him, is while his forces are in America. That's when he opens himself up. Freaking got the cultural victory. It's not the ending I wanted, but I have finally played the huge world map, a complete game on it. I've wanted to do that for more than 10 years. Even if it's not my win, I'm just glad I managed to finish a game on this map. Holy crap. Someday, years from now, I'll play it again and I'll win. But I've finished one. So yeah, we weren't even to the spaceship parts yet when he scored his cultural victory. He scored a really early victory. Okay, there's Korea taking the Aztecs down a peg. So I figured out what Korea was up to. Every time somebody became a major empire, Korea put it down. Every time someone was becoming dominant, the Koreans came over and took them out. But they ignored their green neighbor, who eventually won, and they ignored their brown neighbor, who was the dominant force on the planet. But I guess I lose culturally because I'm bad at culture. I destroyed so many civs. I wrecked so many. During that war with Armenia, I destroyed 3 civilizations outright. If only I could have shared tech with my vassals. These Siberians would have actually been useful instead of sending spearmen to fight tanks. Yeah, Korea really ran wild. They were the dominant power. They were the dominant power right up until I broke them, like they had been breaking everything else. Look, they even have a city up here. Look, this is Korea. Korea. All of this. They control the bottom of India. They have some stuff down here, too. When I stopped Korea, that meant that Korea was no longer holding down all of the world powers. I think it just started. Yep, here we go. My war with Korea. The only reason I won that war so handily is because Korea had divided their forces on 3 different continents. Persia took a bite too. And that's why I got into a war with Persia, was because I wanted that territory there. And Persia was quite an opponent. The Armenians are still not really expanding. They're still sitting in more or less the same position. How did they suddenly become so fierce? We're already up into the mid-1800s. In this 100-year period, the Armenians are going to become terrifying somehow. I'll tell you next time I play the game. No one's sneaking up on me with a cultural victory. Okay, the war with Korea is finally drawing to an end. The war to Korea comes to an end. I want to finish up here, so I do the Persian thing and I fight the green guy and take some stuff from him, and thought I had done a satisfying bite out of him. Then Japan will declare war on me, and then later the Armenians will attack me with like half a dozen civs in tow. No, they don't. They don't feed on Korea. They take Africa. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on these guys. They're going to take Africa. And they're going to make the Zulus their vassal. It's amazing how long King David held out. He just kept becoming everyone's vassal and then betraying them. He had some crazy diplomacy game going on, like nothing I've ever seen before. And he held on for a long, long, long time. Yeah, he basically just carved out his niche and went for the cultural victory. Oh, there we go. Okay, I told you I did significant damage to him. Took some of his best cities there, where he built Big Ben and such. If I had known back then. But I didn't want islands. I wanted everything to be contiguous. I didn't want islands because a lot of my wonders didn't work with islands. Okay, at this point, from this point on, I never start another war. Everyone else declares wars on me. I actually had more wars declared on me than I actually started. Most of the wars were other people attacking me. Yeah, so I'm trying to get my science and economy and everything back into shape. I bet he made rock and roll. I bet it was him. Look at Korea continuing to advance in the Americas until the Incas finally check his advances. The Incans become dominant in the New World. Korea never really recovers from the losses that I gave them. Look at that, they're losing territory now. The Armenians are spreading. Oh, they're conquering. In the 1912. He might have been. The Armenians hated me. They had like a -16 towards me, and the amount of espionage I was eating. I wonder how much of the espionage was actually green. I think most of it was the Armenians, though. They hated my empire. They hated it so much, it was ridiculous. Okay, so we've finished Japan. Okay, we're in the end game now. We're in the last of it. We're in the last of it. Okay, he's fighting Mansa Musa. Any moment now, he's going to declare war on the Mongols. And I'll spend the rest of the game fighting him and not noticing that green is sneakily winning. No, this is how big I was. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. This is it. Oh, that giant mass of stuff. This is the war. Okay. Where I lose all of my big armies and everything. He's continuing to gain ground in Africa, it looks like. Even while fighting me. He was after India, that's what it was. He was after the Hindi, which were my vassal. He started a war with me to try to take a few Hindi cities. His greed to take just a little bit provoked a war with me. That's why he did it. What a stupid move! Yeah, I should have wiped them out completely, because, I mean, they were completely useless. They were still making spearmen! And I knew it would be that way. And I should have just taken the territory. Then I would have had a few more cities. It would have been worth doing. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So, I would have seen what my territory would have looked like when this filled in. But we'll never get to see that because it's going to end now. We're in the 40s. It stopped. That was it. So, between 1910, Armenia was normal. And all of a sudden, they gained all this territory and became this unholy terror in the span of just 30 years. And also, their empire was then broken, because I took their capital and was gaining. Yeah. I needed Africa and Europe, and I would have probably had the win. I would have possibly had to take Australia. Or I could have just gone over to Alaska. So, I put up a pretty good fight. I had a pretty good game. Come on, you gotta show me the rest. You gotta show me the rest of the stuff. Come on. No. No, we're gonna play a couple of Congregate games, and then we're gonna go into Gothic. Gold, me. Food, me. Culture, okay, not me. That's when I attacked. Do you see what I did? I can't, but look at how far ahead his culture is. Oh, this is an anomaly. This is downright an anomaly. Okay, look at that. Look at that compared to anyone else. He was that far ahead on culture. Whoa. And I thought I'd broken him at that point, you know, and could just walk away, but I wasn't even paying attention. Like, if it wasn't for him, I'd have been correct. I could have ignored cultural victories until my city was ready and then started watching for him. But no, this guy was in a whole different level. If I hadn't taken those cities, look at how far... Oh my gosh, you would have ended the game way sooner. Holy crap! That is unbelievable. Whoa. I need to look at this Civ for a minute and see what... I need to look at this Civ for a minute. Wow. Production. Me. Look at when Korea was the top. No, me. Power. Me. Espionage. Really? I don't think I was very good at espionage. People were ripping me off all the time. Demographics. Okay. Let's see. Crop yield. Soldiers. I was first in gold. I was first in everything. Approval rate. I was 29th place in approval. That's because of the war weariness. When I ended the war, I would have probably been pretty high up in approval rate. It's the war weariness was insane. Just painful. I didn't even start that war either. Average life expectancy. Okay, yeah, I really needed that microbiology tech. I wanted it. Imports to exports. Not that great, actually. Still first place on quite a lot of things. Top 5 cities and wonders. So, they managed to make they reached max culture with a city that only had the Sistine Chapel, a fish market. This is it? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And here was his... Holy shit. The top 5 cities in the world, 4 of them are his. 4 of the top 5 are him. The hell? Meanwhile, this is my city. These are my wonders. Actually, a fair number of those are science. I had less wonders. I was having a lot of trouble building wonders this game. Usually I have a lot more than that. That is true. That is true. Usually I have a lot more. Oh wow, the Celtics managed to get the this one. Oh, they had rock and roll. Of all things, okay. Alright. Yeah, I didn't get this one either. But you can see most of the wonders here have Mongolian written on them. Oh, you made the Ford Motor Company as well. Time played, 60 hours. 110 cities built. Oh no, 110 cities owned. Golden Ages, only 3. Here's the list of things I killed. Starting with a Siberian tiger. $35 freighters. I killed a lot of freighters. 56 of those. Whoa, 100 riflemen. We killed a lot of things, man. We killed way more than we lost. Way, way more than we lost. And I like farms. I really like mechanized farms. Ah. Yay? What, are you kidding? I don't even rate up there with Simon Bolivar? Ah. Ah! Shaka Zulu, you burned Babylon! I haven't forgiven you for that. Well. The size. Don't select. The size is too large. Don't play a game this big. Alright. Oh, and it crashes now. I want to see something, though. I want to look at the Civ that beat me and look at their bonuses for a minute. Wow. He snuck up on me. Gah! I can't believe how far his culture was ahead of everything else. My goodness. It's because he wasn't constantly at war with everyone. Maybe. Alright, alright. Yeah, whatever. I just want, get me to the, oh, whoa, okay. Alright, so who was that? That was you. Okay, he has creative, so that gives him 20% more. That right there gives him 20% more culture, 50% faster production of theater, opera, arena, stadium, Ministry of Culture, and all the cities get +1. Okay, definitely the right pick for a cultural victory. Fishery. Oh, fishing business. Nothing about your Civ is particularly good for culture. Particularly. You have really good early boats, though. Really, really good early game with your boats, which you capitalized on. And you're just kind of good. Honestly, the +2 to diplomacy, why he didn't get in as many wars. Plus 50% to espionage. Maybe it was him that was wrecking my shit with espionage all that time. You're not good at great generals, but what does that matter? I mean, if I were playing this Civ, I'd want a seafarer. Well. Well, in, I don't know, 7.5 hours or so, it'll be time for NGU Idol. Man. Still a little disappointed with that ending, but holy crap. Man. Yeah, having a neighbor that was friendly towards him in Korea probably did help him a lot. The two strongest empires, Korea and then him, both being adjacent to me, that doesn't seem like a coincidence. I wonder how much the way I play influenced their growth. Well, until next time and every time, this is Hadriex signing off. Bye.